Coming to you live from Nairobi, Kenya, this is TV47 Weekend. To our topics tonight. Tonight, leaders divided over the direction the Mount Kenya region will take.
Hatutakikani twende pamoja. Sisi hatujaolewa na mtu yeyote ambaye akafikiria ati kuna wakati anaweza kuamua siku moja atatupeleka hivi, kesho anatufanya hivi.
With DP Gachagua insisting that the region is firmly behind President William Ruto.
We are going to unite the mountain behind President William Ruto. Tutaunganisha mlima nyuma ya rais wetu because he means well for us.
President Ruto on a coating spree of Odinga's voting blocks.
Tutaweka pesa, saa hizi ninapanga haya maardhi yatambulike, tuwe na public participation, tuweze kujua ni kina nani wanaishi humo, ili tuweze kulipa hiyo ardhi na kuwapa hati miliki ili watu kuishi kama makota katika nchi yenu.
As he seemingly sets his sights on the 2027 general elections.
Yale yote ameyaweka katika mipango yake ndani ya serikali yake kununuliwa ili wakazi wa pwani angalau chozi la saa zote kuvunjiwa manyumba yetu iwe imefutwa.
President fires warning shot on individuals engaging in drug business.
Wale wanatengeneza hiyo pombe wanaumiza wananchi. Kweli. Na wale wanatengeneza hiyo pombe hawalipi ushuru. Kweli. Sasa tunapata hasara pande zote.
Chiefs to lead the war with religious leaders saying they are willing to join in the fight.
Vichochoro vyote ambavyo kwamba vinapita madawa kulevya tunavielewa, tunachotaka ni wewe uwe na sisi.
Welcome to the broadcast on this 19th day of November 2022. Catherine Simalo is on the sign language rocket. I am Stanley Eringita. Now to a top story tonight. President Ruto has issued a warning to individuals engaging in the drug business, especially in the coastal region, saying it will not be business as usual. In the new approach, chiefs will be in charge of operations at the community level. Paul Bunio with more.
Day 2 of President Ruto's coastal visit came with directives in a stern warning to put drug barons who are said to have largely operated in the region on notice.
We must close all the loopholes and all the routes na tuhakikisha kwamba wale wanahujumu taifa letu la Kenya kwa kuuza madawa hata wawe ni wa kiwango gani, tukabiliane na wao, wahame nchi yetu ndio tuweze kuwa na nchi ambayo inafaa.
Speaking as he commissioned the construction of a 40-kilometer road in Mtwapa, Kilifi County, Ruto has directed the responsible authorities to ruthlessly deal with those who engage in the vice, with the illegal trade being behind the spike in numbers of small terror groups that have been wreaking havoc in Mombasa and AIDS and virus.
Watoto wetu wengi wanahangaika, vijana wanahangaika, kina mama wanahangaishwa na madawa. Na nimeambia askari wetu na wale wote wanaohusika ya kwamba nchi ya Kenya haiwezi kuwa ni nchi ambayo madawa inahangaisha watoto wetu.
A 2021 report found that Mombasa, the largest port in East Africa, has become the capital of a new drug trafficking route. Heroin from Asia and cocaine from Latin America now transit through Kenya before heading to Europe due to, among other things, weak and poorly supervised borders. The new war by the president coming at a time when the nation is experiencing high cases of drug abuse, indirectly occasioned by the current high cost of living. And moments after the declaration of the war on drugs at the coast, a section of Muslim religious leaders pledged to boost the war in any way they can and marshal support from the community level.
Suala la madawa ya kulevya ni kero kubwa sana kwa kizazi cha leo kitakachokuja na kadhalika. Tunakuhakikishia vile wewe uko serious, sisi tuko serious zaidi, tena na zaidi.
The Muslim leaders say that the drug menace has led not only moral decay but has reduced Mombasa youth to zombies who cannot contribute in any way to development.
Kuna grupu hapa zaitwa wakali kwanza wengine wanafunzi kumbe ni members wa zile grupu. Sasa tuwaonesha namna gani ikiwa skuli itabreed criminals, hii nchi itakuwa vipi?
In a new approach, chiefs are expected to lead the war and are expected to begin from the community level. Paul Munio, TV 47, Kilifi County.
Thank you, Munio. Now let's deep dive into some politics. The political rumble from the Mount Kenya region is becoming louder by the days if the events of the last few days are anything to go by. From seemingly cutting ties with the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya faction to the clamor over the state of their relationship with the Kenya Kwanza, it is now apparent that there is some political activity in the mountain whose end could have an impact in the region's political future. Paul Kirobi reports.
Sentiments after the friction within the Kenya Kwanza faction during the election of representatives to the East African Legislative Assembly that set the stage for a political tug of war in the Mount Kenya region, which attracted reactions from area leaders, with Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga saying that the region will not be moving blindly.
East African Legislative Assembly. Na tuliona mambo na tungetaka tuseme sasa kwamba hii safari tutaandamana tukiwa pamoja, au tunaweza pia kusema kama hatutakikani twende pamoja, sisi hatujaolewa na mtu yeyote ambaye akafikiria ati kuna wakati anaweza kuamua siku moja atatupeleka hivi, kesho anatufanya hivi.
And today, the Deputy President fired back, insisting that the region is firmly behind President William Ruto, further refuting claims that there is a rift within the Kenya Kwanza faction.
So it is very easy for them to come and work together. 4% were cheated about something called the system and the deep state. They have now known it is not true, so they should come and work together. 1% is the one that was blindly following the retired president. You are also welcome. So that we support the president, we support everybody, and we work for this country. Tumekubaliana?
This coming just hours after leaders in the region allied to the Azimio One Kenya faction signaling at cutting ties with ODM leader Raila Odinga, stating that they have paid a political debt and they are ready to move on.
Unaweza kujaribu mambo mengine mapya kama yatatusaidia zaidi. Na tunafikiria kwamba tukiwa na shadow cabinet itatusaidia kuhakikisha kwamba serikali ambayo iko wakati huu chini ya Rais William Samoei Ruto na makamu wake Deputy President Mheshimiwa Gachagua ya kwamba tunawakosoa.
The move rubbing fellow Azimio leaders the wrong way, with ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna expressing his displeasure with Mount Kenya's performance in the August election. The moves, which have all the markings of the 2027 race to State House, is likely to have an impact to the Ruto-Gachagua marriage, with a section of leaders insisting that they recognize Gachagua as their kingpin. Gachagua has now embarked on a 3-day tour of the region, with many seeing his visit as a move to quell the dissent. Paul Kirobi, TV 47.
And politics of the 2027 dominated speeches during the burial of Mzee David Mweri, father to Kilifi North Member of Parliament Owen Baya, with leaders pushing for the re-election of President William Ruto in the 2027 elections. Area leaders led by Senate Speaker Amason Kingi say the region should support Ruto as he is keen on delivering on promises made to the region. Top of the list is the land issue of the coast region, which has been orchestrated by historical injustices, among other campaign promises to the region. In the recent past, the president has made visits in the claimed to be opposition political strongholds, a move which is seen as consolidating these regions to rally behind him before 2027.
Wameshaishi tayari, lakini wanakaa kule kama maskota. Tayari tumepanga vile Speaker wa Senate alivyosema, na kuanzia mwaka ujao katika budget tutaweka pesa. Saa hizi ninapanga haya maardhi yatambulike, tuwe na public participation, tuweze kujua ni kina nani wanaishi humo, ili tuweze kulipa hiyo ardhi na kuwapa hati miliki ili watu kuishi kama maskota katika nchi yenu miaka 50 baada ya uhuru wetu. shaka ambao saa zote watu wanavujiwa kule Malindi, Kanyangwa, kule Kilifi, Kagaa, yale yote ameyaweka katika mipango yake ndani ya serikali yake kununuliwa, ili wakazi wa Pwani angalau chozi la saa zote kuvunjiwa manyumba yetu iwe imefutwa.
Hiyo ni kumaanisha safari hii tulipata kiongozi wa maendeleo anayejali wananchi wa chini. Kwa hivyo ni nafasi yetu kumuunga mkono bila kuteleza, ili tuweze kufanikiwa zaidi kwa miaka hii ambayo rais wetu atatuongoza.
Lakini mimi nataka niwaambie wana Kilifi ya kwamba nimerudi hapa sasa kama waziri katika baraza la waziri, na pia vile vile kama alivyosema gavana Mung'aro, labda kila kitu kina sababu kwa nini yakafanyika haya. Labda hatungepata waziri katika jamii ya Kimijikenda tena mwanamke, lakini baada ya yeye kuniangusha akawa ameniangushia mbele.
Well, that's Kenyan politics for you. Now to some health matters. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has assured the nation that efforts are being put in place to improve the health sector, adding that funds to the health sector will take up 15% of the annual budget. And as Beatrice Otare reports, Kenyans have been called upon to register for the NHI fund in large numbers. Take a look.
While congratulating the graduates at the 11th graduation of 356 students from Outspan Medical College in Nyeri County, the Deputy President said the government is creating an enabling environment for local investors in health, while also inviting more others from outside the country as a way of expanding job opportunities for the youth.
We want to invite investors in the pharmaceutical industry to come and invest in this country. We want to encourage more investors to develop private health facilities like Outspan. And I want to confirm, CS and Governor, as Member of Parliament for Madeira for the last 5 years, I know how critical Outspan Hospital has been to our people in supporting the county government public hospitals.
In a bid to actualize the agenda by the government to increase the number of people covered by the NHIF fund, Cabinet Secretary for Health Susan Nakumincha called upon citizens to register for the NHIF fund, further adding that she will ensure that in 5 years, at least 5 million Kenyans will be covered.
Your Excellency, allow me to also say that the agenda that you have outlined together with the President of this Republic is on us being registered on National Health Insurance Fund. So far, we have registered 1 million indigents, the people in our community who are not able to access. And as I stand here today, you have given me a mandate to ensure that the 1 million now moves to 5 million Kenyans.
In addition, Gachagua said the government will continue increasing funds to the health sector to 15% of the national annual budget as per the Abuja Declaration, which will also trickle down to the counties. Reporting for TV47, my name is Beatrice Otare.
Thank you, Tari, for that. Now, residents of Kajiado Central constituency had every reason to smile after your favorite station and fastest growing TV, TV47, donated food and other essential supplies. TV47 partnered with state and non-state actors to embark on extending a helping hand to needy Kenyans. Like Hiriano with more.
As the country continues bearing the brunt of the worst drought in 40 years, that has left at least 5.1 million Kenyans in jaws of starvation, Kajiado County remains one of the worst affected, with both livestock and human beings scramble for the little food left in their farms. Residents of Kajiado Central, however, got reprieve today after your favorite TV station, TV47, donated not only the much needed foodstuff, but also other essential supplies.
Kuja kutoa mgao wa chakula kwa wenyeji hapa. Kumbuka kwamba kumekuwa na baa la njaa ambalo limeathiri sehemu nyingi hapa nchini. TV47 tumekuwa na washirika wengi. Vuguvugu hili lenyewe ni la kuwapa msaada wale ambao wameathirika, na tumeanza huku Kajiado ya Kati.
and it's a pleasure to be here with TV47 and support them on this initiative.
We want to thank the private sector, the development partners, and the non-governmental organizations for coming out to support us in such a time. Let me appreciate the TV47 fraternity and their partners.
The residents, who will at least have something on the table, thanks to you, our viewers, and other partners, did not hesitate to express their joy.
Naitwa Nani Uleyan, mkazi wa Inginye. Tumeshukuru kwa kutuletea chakula. Tumeteseka kwa muda, sisi ni wafugaji, mifugo yote yetu imeisha, ndo tulikuwa tunategemea.
Kajiado County has been on the spot on the gender-based violence, a norm which has been condemned. Parents urge to be caring to their son and daughters.
Sema ya kwamba kazi ya ukeketaji ya wasichana, mimi kama kiongozi, kwa sababu hiyo ni kinyume cha sheria. Mtu yoyote atakayepatikana akifanya ukeketaji wa wasichana, nataka kusema ya kwamba hatua ichukuliwe kabisa, kwa sababu tumezungumza, tumewafundisha, tumeweza kuwaeleza umuhimu wa kuachana na hiyo kazi.
The exercise is expected to continue, with Kenyans urged to keep donating and also send their contribution to M-Pesa paybill number 4098795 so that many more families in other parts of the country can be assisted.
Food security has been a huge problem to the country, which was led by drought, which has affected various parts of the country, especially residents of Kajiado County. Initiative which was taken by TV47 fraternity, partnered with other foundations to enable families get something on the table for the young ones. Reporting for TV47 from Kajiado County, I'm Lucky Heriano.
Some good stuff right there. And remember, you can always drop your solid contributions at TV47 offices at Ujiji Road, Gate 10, or all Mount Kenya University branches across the country. Now, while the rain continues to be witnessed in different counties in the country, residents of Rombo, Kajiado South are now complaining of flooding affecting their normal activities. Right now, the roads are impassable, with residents expressing fears of a full-blown disaster.
As the country is still reeling from the intense drought situation that put close to 5.1 million Kenyans likely to experience starvation, the heavens have begun opening and many parts of the country are experiencing rainfall. The much-awaited rain that is said to quench the country of its thirst is, however, posing a new challenge for residents of Rombo area in Kajiado who are now facing floods.
Ikifikia kipindi hiki cha mvua, tunakuwa na vitishio vingi sana kwa sababu ya jinsi ya kupita, jinsi ya kuenda nyumbani, jinsi ya kufanya kazi. Barabara zetu ukiangalia hazipitiki.
This flood has caused severe damages to weak infrastructure in the area, like roads, forcing drivers and residents to find an alternative means of moving from one point to another.
Kwa hivi sasa hapa hivi tuna zaidi ya masaa 8 tukijaribu kusubiria na kujaribu kumsii mwenye shamba, yani mwenye shamba ambaye amepakana na barabara, angalau aturuhusu tupite kwenye eneo lake ili kuweza kuokoa mazao kufika sokoni. Na tumekaa hapa zaidi ya masaa 8 tukimsii na tukimuomba, na ni haki yake akikataa ama akikubali, maana shamba lake linaendelea kuharibiwa na magari, na ili hali barabara ya serikali ipo ni ya kurekebisha tu na kutengeneza.
Maana sitaki ipite kwa shamba yangu, maana shamba yangu tayari imeshakuwa korongo. Kwa hivyo hii kusuia hizi magari, kila siku hii barabara inakuja kupimwa, hakuna kutengenezwa, na shamba ya mtu haiwezi kuwa barabara ya magari.
It is said that the current poor road situation has been there for a long time now, and the residents are afraid of losing their loved ones for the second time due to that road. Residents of Rombo are now calling the government to provide help before the situation degenerates into a full-blown disaster.
Nataka kusema serikali waje watengeneze barabara. Wamepima barabara miaka iliyopita na mpaka saa hii hatuoni. Tunaona tu akileta manini wakija kupima barabara wanaenda kabisa. Waje itengeneza barabara.
Nation Kabale, TV47.
As Kenya joins the world in marking World Toilets Day, a section of residents from Mbeere South constituency in Meru County are forced to relieve themselves in thick bushes due to the dilapidated state of many toilets in the area. However, the government has today commissioned sanitation blocks in Nairobi's informal settlement as a way of inspiring action on the global sanitation crisis. This story was produced by Elizabeth Atieno and voiced by Sylvia Nyongesa.
Mbeere South, Meru County. This is the sorry state of some toilets in this area. Their dilapidated toilets have forced area residents to receive their call of nature in thick bushes.
Tungependa kuhimiza watu hasa wale wako huku mashinani. Ni vizuri waache kutumia mahali kama huku kwa vichaka. Watu wachimbe choo, watumie choo.
The affected residents say the situation is made worse during the ongoing rainy season, which causes flooding in the pit latrines that are normally, if not always, shallow, a situation that poses serious health concerns.
Na wakati kunanyesha, utakuta wakati mwingi kama choo hazitakuwa zimechimbwa, basi ile uchafu ambao watu wanaenda huko kwa vichaka, wakumbuke hiyo ndio inabebwa na maji, inaingia kule kwa mito. Ile mito ndio tunaenda kuchota maji, wakati mwingine maybe ya kuosha nguo, hata ya kupikia, na wakati mwingine mpaka ya ng'ombe.
Those living in the informal settlements are said to be the worst hit by the sanitation crisis, with many residents in these areas still embracing the outdated flying toilets. However, this might now be a thing of the past after the government, through the Ministry of Water and the Earthy Waterworks Agency, in a project funded by the French Development Agency, commissioned sanitation blocks worth 500 million Kenyan shillings.
Whenever you have a facility like a toilet, use it with dignity, because it's also giving you dignity.
The financing of this may look small. This specifically the biocenters may look small, but the impact and the benefit it has gotten is beyond measure.
I'm impressed because this facility, which I think is top notch, because you do have biofuel, you have sanitation, and you have community-based arrangements.
The sanitation blocks will serve residents of Kibra, Korogosho, Mukuru, Kawangware, Huruma and Mathare settlements.
And apparently the whole World Toilets Day really just had to coincide with the International Men's Day. It just really had to. But anyway, the debate on whether it is safe to hire or use second-hand swimming costumes has reawakened now that Kenyans are getting ready to hit the beach for the festivities. A lot has been said on the topic on whether sharing of the swim gear could pose health risks. Reporter Nashin Kabale reports.
The festivities are approaching and many are having plans to hit the beach for their vacation. A 20-minute drive north from Mombasa town will take you to the Jomo Kenyatta Public Beach, popularly known as Pirates. Here the business of hiring swimsuits is at its peak.
Hapa biashara yangu kubwa ni nakombolesha hizo floater tubes na kuhaya hizo swimming costume pia na kuuza kabisa.
As the debate of whether it is safe or unsafe to hire the costume continues, visitors from upcountry are the frequent customers of hiring swimsuits. Those who hire the swimsuits say that it is way cheaper than buying because vacation is only seasonal.
Hapa na prefer kuja tu nikiwa sijabeba mizigo mingi. Then na prefer kuhaya kwa sababu nakuja napata kuna varieties, kuna zile light nikiingia kwa maji nikitoka tu inakauka haraka. Variety of sizes. Tena kununua ni bei ghali na ni mara moja kwa wakati.
Dr. Samson Misango, a chief consultant surgeon and urologist from Mesu Center in Nairobi, inform us if there is any risk of sharing swimsuits.
First of all, it's good to distinguish. We have UTIs, which are called urinary tract infections, and we have STIs or STDs, which are sexually transmitted diseases. These two are different. But sometimes they are used interchangeably by people because of misinformation. Now, theoretically, it is possible to contract any of these diseases because a disease is basically a condition that is transmitted from one person to another through an infective agent. Now, most of the infective agents will either be maybe bacteria, there will be some parasites, there will be fungus, there will be viruses.
It is clear that women are at a higher risk of contracting infections compared to men, while it is reported that women are the most common customers of hiring swimsuits.
There are some people, and especially here we're referring to females, because as I said, it's unlikely that a young boy would be similarly affected unless they're just grossly with poor hygiene because of the arrangement of the urinary tract. So if you have an organism coming from the anal area, maybe there's some contamination on the costume. Now, it is possible that you can have some contamination by bacteria from the gastrointestinal tract.
And how safe is salty water?
So while you might be safe from the contamination due to bacteria, then the other contaminants in the water, you're not so sure. So what you say is, the more you stay with a wet cloth on your body, the higher the chances of getting complications, because that contact with something which is moist and wet for a prolonged period of time will cause irritation of the skin.
Prevention is better than cure, therefore, always consider cleanliness when hiring the swimsuits. Nation Kabale, TV47.
Much appreciated for that, Kabale. I'm pretty sure you're looking at your calendar right now and you're seeing it's just a month and around 4 days to Christmas. Time does fly, man. And from that, the United Nations climate change talks that were meant to end on Friday have run into the weekend due to deep divisions on the loss and damage funding consensus. But even as developing countries prepare to exit Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt, they carry with them dashed hopes. Today, we take a look at the hits and misses in the concluded COP27 UN conference that began on the 6th of November.
Curtains come down for the 27th meeting of the Conference of Parties to the Global Treaty, the UN Convention on Climate Change. The 2-week-long meeting that brought together presidents, ministers and critical stakeholders in the climate change sphere from 190 countries. The main aim of the meeting was about the next course the world needs to take in efforts to reduce global temperatures to 1.5 degrees. The meeting ending with most African countries crying foul, accusing richer nations of taking them for a ride.
We have discovered that that is going to delay because the decision for loss and damage has been postponed yet again to 2024.
Issues at the heart of the deliberations include loss and damage payouts occasioned by climate change, coal mining and the use of fossil fuels to African countries.
And one would wonder why the African nations even signed the Paris Agreement.
The 5th COP to be held in the African continent is said to have yielded little of no fruits, despite Africa bearing the greatest brunt of climate change due to emissions from richer countries who are responsible for 96% of greenhouse gas emissions. A scenario that attracted backlash from a section of human rights groups who participated in peaceful demos on the sidelines of the conferences. During his address at the conference last week, President William Ruto said Africa is already bearing the brunt of climate change, whose adverse effects now impact every aspect of their economies and livelihoods and further complicates national roadmaps towards socio-economic transformation and impedes the achievement of sustainable development goals in the continent. In Kenya, impacts of climate change have been witnessed in many parts of the country, including rising water levels in most lakes and the missed rain cycles that have occasioned the ongoing drought situation, which has put at least 5.1 million Kenyans at the jaws of starvation.
And from that, a section of leaders now say that the HELB Act should be revamped so as to ensure more Kenyans can access higher education affordably. Led by Nairobi Women Representative Esther Passaris and Kakamega Governor Fernandez Baraza, they say expanding the program will ensure more Kenyans get training and thereby get jobs or create businesses.
Education right now, and I think we're in dire need to literally put more classrooms, more secondary schools, the uptake to secondary schools. Universities, of course, are highly dependent on government, and I think they will have to start thinking outside the box. we need to revamp HELP and give it to a lot more students. And then I also feel that when you come to HELP, it will be good if the beneficiaries, that means the private universities, the public universities, as well as the faith-based universities, can all have a seat on the table so that we can actually look at how HELP is working and what needs to be done to enhance it.
We're trying to appeal to government to be proactive. I know there are many issues which are going on, and I know on matters legislation, my member of Parliament here, our women rep, we've been in a better position to comment about the policy issues around education.
Excellence in everything, and that's one of our values that we cherish in this country. Excellence in what we do, excellence in utilization of resources, excellence in teaching, excellence in working.
Some 29 minutes past the top of the hour, I'll be telling you why it was a good day for Gor Mahia and Tusker after the short break.
You are watching TV 47, the home of untold stories.
Usiyakubalie maumivu ya misuli kukatiza ratiba yako. Kaluma Pain Balm ni dawa ya kusugua iliyotengenezwa kutoka kwa miche maalum ili kutuliza maumivu ya misuli. Kaluma Pain Balm. Shhh. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
There is a lot that happens around the world we cannot control. But when we know where the affected are, we can stretch our hands to help. Let's join TV 47 and the youth in this noble cause to stand with fellow Kenyans in times of need. TV 47 for Kenya. Pamoja for Kenya. Send your monetary donations to paybill number 4098795. Account name Pamoja for Kenya, or drop solid contributions to TV 47 Ojija Road, Gate 10, and all the MKU branches in the country. No act of kindness goes to waste. Want to know the meaning of a soft life? It's living with ease and accessing quality lifestyle while taking a swim. It's taking care of your body in a 5-star gym while you achieve your fitness goals. It's living in a serene and quiet neighborhood. It's about staying in a place with spacious driveways and ample parking. It's about living in a safe and secure environment. It's about convenient shopping. Soft life is living comfortable in affordable and yet an elegant space. It's everything stylish. Here's to introducing Great Rift Apartments, located at the heart of Nakuru City in Kisulisuli Estate, just a few minutes from the Central Business District. Great Rift Apartments, the hub of soft living. TV 47, the home of untold stories.
Right, thank you for your patronage so far. Now to the wonderful world of sports. Ojo Olani earlier today scored a brace as FC Leopards started their 2022-2023 FKF Premier League season campaign on high after securing a 2-0 win-away victory against Ulinzi Stars at the Ulinzi Sports Complex. FC Leopards entered the match daring to take the league by storm as Olani opened the scoring with a cheeky lob past Ulinzi's goalkeeper in the second minute before sealing his brace from the penalty spot in the 52nd minute. Speaking after the match, FC Leopards head coach Patrick Osams lauded his players for registering good results, saying they were well prepared for the start of the league. Also, Benson Omala scored a sublime free kick in the 52nd minute to help Gor Mahia defeat Nzoia Sugar 1-0 at the Nyayo Stadium, while Tusker FC defeated Kakamega Homeboys 2-1 at the Buhungu Stadium.
repeat, we played without 10 players, and the guys made the job. I'm very proud of them. Very proud of them because the circumstances were not very easy. It was a big challenge today. It was a big challenge. So I'm very happy for the win, and I repeat, I'm very proud for them. But don't think that I'm happy regarding the situation. I'm very disappointed about the situation we have to face right now. So I hope that it will be solved as soon as possible.
Naweza sema kwamba FC Leopards kwa kweli ukiangalia leo kipa wangu hakufanya save hata moja, lakini wamepata magoli mawili. So nadhani pia kuna zile decisions zilikuwa zinamekiwa ambao hazikwenda side yetu sana. Na nadhani katika ile penalty ilikuwa ni turning point. Sidhani kama ilikuwa penalty na nikidhani iliwapa nguvu kidogo FC Leopards. So naweza sema kwamba kuna vitu nimejifunza mimi kama kocha kwa timu yangu kwa mechi ya kwanza. So najua mchezo unaofuata na Sharks najua ni wapi ndarekebisha, lakini kubwa zaidi ni jinsi ya kupata magoli kwa sababu tumefika pale, tumecreate a lot of chances.
Well, honestly, last season was just one murky season. Hopefully this time it will be a seamless one through or out. Now to some hockey action, KCA University earlier today played out to a goalless draw with Multimedia University MMU in the Kenya Hockey Federation League at the City Park grounds in Parklands, Nairobi. The match saw both sides fail to capitalize on their chances to score goals in the first half. However, Multimedia University dominated the second set despite failing to find the back of the net. Elsewhere, Lakers also played out to a goalless draw with Blazers at the Kisumu Simba grounds, while Nairobi Chapel were given a walkover victory of 5 goals against Karate, which failed to honor the fixture.
So we are still trying from the squad we have to see way forward. We are still realigning the team. They are still learning the system. You know, we had already captured the system of KCB. Now, by including 2 new players, it's giving us a challenge. Remember, this year I recruited 4 players from KCB. So it's also a strong team to watch. But we are hopeful that we can still manage DCI as we rearrange the team of KCB.
Generally, the team has performed well. We have played well. I can just say it was a bad day in office. My players have played really well. They gave their best, but we came out as losers, 3-1. We did not get any point, but it's not the end of it. This is just a league. We still have the playoffs ahead of us. Our focus is in tomorrow's match.
Now to a game that I'm actually curious to know how it's played. The national lacrosse team earlier today missed a chance to participate in the Lacrosse World Champions after falling to a 9-8 defeat at the hands of Uganda in the Africa Association of Lacrosse 2022 qualifiers at the Kenton College in Nairobi. The high-intensity match saw Uganda opening the scoring. However, Kenya surged back to equalize and take a 4-2 lead heading into halftime. Kenya started the second half on a strong foot as they extended the lead. However, their defense lapsed to allow Uganda to equalize and force the match into overtime, where they scored the winning goal. Speaking after the match, the national lacrosse team head coach Peter Jinega stated that his players were outshined by Uganda's experience as they failed to maintain the lead in the crucial match.
You know, I thought our game plan was good, other than the fact that we took those penalties in the end. I was hoping we can hold on. You know, the game, you know, was a 4-goal game, 3-goal game, 2-goal game, back to 3-goal game. I mean, you know, if you're going to play an African qualifier for the first time, you couldn't script this any better. You know, and I'm so proud of our guys, and I'm really proud of Uganda too.
This has been like the hardest game Uganda's ever played so far. We've played the World Cup 2014 and 2018. I was in 2018 back in Israel. But I will tell you the truth that this was the hardest game ever we have ever faced. It's the first African qualifiers, and Kenya has given us the hardest time ever. You guys watched the game. It was the hardest game ever.
And even before coming here, we knew the team